Hello, everyone. I'm Hugo Phillion, the co-founder of Flare. So at Flare, we're building an integrated stack for data interoperability and compute. We've essentially built an EVM layer 1 with enshrined data protocols, two major enshrined data protocols, one for price, one for state and effectively database data grabbed through API. It's a little different to other types of Oracle. Every one of our validators contributes to it, and we have a relatively sophisticated method to make sure that we come to consensus over the data. And that's kind of our starting building block of what the network is. And from that, we've been building quite a nice DeFi ecosystem in much the same vein that everyone else has been building DeFi ecosystems so far. But we are soon to come to really something that is a little different. So our next phase over the next 6 months is that we're rolling out what we like to think of as seamless interoperability. We'll be using trusted execution environments to allow smart contracts built on Flare to be able to execute transactions on any connected chain. We call that the protocol managed wallet capability. It's quite fun. I think we've got some amazing ideas for what we can be doing with that. Then we'll be adding a sort of more embedded general compute layer to Flare, again through TEs, so that you'll be able to extend what you can do with smart contracts quite handily with privacy. And we think it has nice applications to ML and AI. But most importantly, we think it makes DeFi way more interesting over the long term and brings in compliance, especially when you have real-world assets. So our focus is, for now, it's basically DeFi with assets like XRP. So we are effectively what we like to think of as one of the first major XRP-fied chains. We were built and we airdropped our token largely to the XRP community because we think it's a huge untapped market for DeFi. And ahead of launching XRP, which we launched last week on Thursday, we have built out a fully fledged DeFi ecosystem. But we'll be extending from XRP in the coming years to Bitcoin, Doge, and other non-smart contract assets. Then we have an institutional focus, working with people like MoreMarkets and other institutional partners to do things in XRP, Bitcoin, but also the more TradFi space, and that's where our interoperability will come in and where our compute will come in. And then lastly, with compute, I'm quite interested in machine learning and AI. There's some fun stuff you can do today with TEs that are attached to Flare, but I think it can get a lot more interesting over the long term. Although finding a viable and economic use case for crypto AI is still an open question. So just give you a bit of background on our existing DeFi ecosystem. We have pretty much all the primitives. We got 3 different types of Uniswap v3 DEX. We've got 2 types of perpetual futures. One which is called Flamix, which I quite like because it lets you use your collateral, any token you want as collateral. And I think that's going to be quite cool for the XRP that is brought to Flare, because you'll be able to take a perpetuals position, collateralize with XRP. Then we got lending, borrowing, traditional lending markets in the sort of compound variety, but then more neo lending markets like the ones we all know, but I don't want to name the names, coming very soon. We've got liquid restaking, both for our own token through Scepter, and then probably most importantly, Firelight, which is a liquid restaking protocol specifically built for XRP. And of course, it's not staking in the traditional manner, but we call it an ESS, an economically secured service. But it's built to really replicate a staking-like risk level with, staking-like, once you stake, the manager of the pool can't just do whatever they like. So it's not a vault structure, it's much closer to a staking structure. Then we have yield trading, Spectre will be launching soon, and then a CDP. So you'll be able to effectively collateralize your XRP into a dollar-based stablecoin. So we think that's the basis of XRPFi. We have built that out ahead of launching XRP on Flare, and we have when we started, we put aside a very large amount of our token to be able to incentivize this. So other people will be replicating XRP on their chains, but they're not going to have the war chest that we have to actually make it work. We've got about $400 million worth of war chest in order to make it work. And then, so why am I here today? Because MoreMarkets is building, I think, one of the things I think many of us know about XRP is that, the XRP community are not that well immersed in DeFi. You haven't been able to do DeFi on the XRP Ledger. And so in order to get them over the hurdle, MoreMarkets have built what is a really, really nice and very simple to use application for XRP holders to be able to get yield on their XRP. You put it in into various different vaults, and MoreMarkets can manage it in a sensible and decentralized way. And that's one of the key aspects about MoreMarkets that I like, is that they're very decentralized. They're very decentralized, and so they have a graded risk structure, which I like. So I think Flare will be a good origin for yields through MoreMarkets for XRP on chain. So that's my lightning talk, and this is a selection of our ecosystem partners. We've done an awful lot of work to make sure we have absolutely all of the necessary pieces in place. So thank you to our BD team, most of who are here today.